Hello and welcome to another video with me, Winner Android. It's another video of Weekly Android, in which, this week, good chunk of this season's anime has ended at this point, and everything else is basically ending next week from what I can tell, except for everything that kind of continues into next season at the very least. So, like 6 things here for this week to go over, I guess. So, starting off with 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, which was, honestly better than I expected it to be honest, that is for sure. Considering the story was actually pretty good, I think. Though it did, of course, focus mostly on cosplay as a theme at the very least there. And apparently a decent amount of the fan service ended up getting nerfed compared to the manga. But, yeah. On the romance side of things, there really wasn't any kind of progress whatsoever, though that really isn't surprising at all, considering Kamierabi has no interest in 3D girls at all, though that date has started changing right at the end of the season there, so, yeah. Overall, I think it was pretty good at the very least, and yeah, second season's been announced for it. Definitely going to be watching it, without question. Honestly, don't really have too much to say for it, so I guess I'll move on to the next thing, which is Demon Lord Retry R, which is the second season, and yeah, it is definitely worse than the first season, in multiple ways. Considering, the animation is the most obvious thing out of everything there. Considering it did quite literally get so bad that it honestly may as well been a PowerPoint presentation for fuck's sakes. And I'm honestly not really exaggerating that much by saying that, because that's just how fucking bad it was. But, yeah. The season basically started off by spending the first 2 episodes not being able to make up its mind on whether or not it actually wanted to be a second season or a remake. And yeah, of course it decided to be a second season after those first 2 episodes there. But after that, honestly, I don't really feel like a lot happens throughout this entire season, at the very least compared to the first season, considering, from my memory, a decent amount of stuff actually happened in the first season. This season, well, I guess we had one arc for the first half there, and then another one for the second half, but honestly, I can't really say how much all actually happened during those arcs besides what the arcs themselves were about. So, yeah. And then there's also the flashbacks and everything that we didn't really have during the first season, in which, all those flashbacks are so fucking disconnected from the story that it genuinely feels like they're a part of some completely different story, for fuck's sakes. So, yeah, it's just fucking bad all around, to be honest. Honestly, I think it's a good thing I did not rewatch the first season, considering that would probably make this look even worse or something, I think. Actually having a direct comparison there. So, yeah, that's all I got for this. So, moving on to the next thing, which is TsumaSho, which is just a short name for the anime, I guess, or whatever. But, yeah, this was easily one of the biggest surprises of the season for me, without question, considering it did kind of start off a bit weird, as I expected. And then on the second half, the anime it finally started getting a bit serious and everything. We actually had a very good story and everything, which honestly, I guess, yeah. Basically, a little summary here. That does, of course, have spoilers in it here. Keisuke and Mai are both still hung up on Takai's death after 10 fucking years. And Takai ends up possessing an elementary school student. And within basically a year manages to fix her family and also Marika's family, who is the girl that she ended up possessing there. But, yeah, there is pretty much the entire story summed up, pretty much. The character development's honestly very good, especially when it comes to like Sheikah, considering she honestly did start off as the worst fucking character in the anime, for obvious reasons, and she ended up becoming one of the best characters by the end of the damn thing. And then we also have the whole ship between Mai and Renji that just completely sailed off into the distance off camera. Though we did at the very least get to see their wedding in the final episode, so we got something, I guess. And honestly, one thing I can really complain about this anime is just the ending itself, I think. Considering, yeah, it kinda deceived us along with Takai there and everything. So, yeah. Moving on, I guess, the next thing here, which is Kamierabi, second season. In which, yeah, there was apparently a 12-year time jump between the first season here and this season, and Halal is now the main character during this season. But also, everyone else that was a part of the whole God game, I guess, has stopped aging completely, and Goro has disappeared. And overall this season I don't think really continues whole God game thing that much, to be honest, and more focuses on uncovering all the mysteries of the world and actually trying to fix everything, which does of course actually involve continuing the whole game and everything, but it isn't really a focus. But we do end up seeing God and Goro's confrontation with him, in which, yeah, spoilers, but Goro apparently ends up creating a better world and everything, where good deeds do not get punished, and also a world where all the background characters actually have color to them now, aren't just great templates. But, yeah. Overall, I think it was a good ending to the story, I guess. It wasn't great, but it was good. So, yeah. Good job to Yoko Toro, I guess, for another story here, whatever. So, next thing here, Negative Positive Angler, which I guess is a slice of life anime that's basically focused on fishing, though it also has a bit of drama towards the end of it as well. And yeah, I honestly generally do not really have a lot to say for this at all, but I guess I'll kind of compare it to the other anime that I have watched that has some kind of fishing in it, or some kind of, just in general have some kind of focus on fishing, which basically amounts to like 2 or 3 in total now, I think. So, yeah, out of all those anime, this is now easily the most in-depth in things, and honestly, probably enough that you could actually learn how to fish from watching this anime, for the most part at the very least, there. But, decent story. It's a slice of life anime pretty much, basically, to be honest, so really not much to say. I'm just going to go move on to the next anime at this point, which is 365 Days to the Wedding. Which is honestly a nice, wholesome romance anime where you got Takia there and Rika, though they don't really use those names very much throughout the anime. But, yeah, lying about marriage to avoid getting transferred to another branch of their company. And yeah, of course, by the end of it, as you would expect, it's not a lie anymore, and it has actually become official that they're going to get married. Because how else would this go with it being a romance anime? But, yeah, apparently this only actually covers the first half of the story or something. So it is possible that we could actually get more genuine, wholesome romance if it gets a second season. But the only other thing I guess I really have to say for this is just the fact that I'm honestly kind of just genuinely surprised at how much they managed to build up Gonda in the one episode that he ended up getting, considering he's a side character. But they managed to build him up so fucking much in that one episode that I actually kind of started caring about him. And honestly, they did a really good job with character developments there. That is for sure. Honestly, do hope that it does end up getting a second season and the story gets finished and all that. But yeah, that's everything that I was watching that into this week. Basically, next week, pretty much everything else ends besides like Mao 2099, which is going to end 1 week later compared to everything else. So yeah, that's all I got for that stuff. Azur Lane, I guess I'll mention it, in which yeah, this event here, story-wise, yeah, I knew shit was going to happen due to how the previous event ended and everything, but I really did not expect this. With everyone forgetting about us, to the point where they can't even see us, except for all the characters that were in the Nautica Singularity with us. Though they also can't see us either, they can only remember us. So, yeah. And then we are also lost in some other place or something. I'm honestly not sure. But generally this kind of feels like it's just come completely out of left field. But then again, I've also don't really have much of the lore that we've gotten over the last 4 years, because I wasn't playing during that entire period of time. So yeah, I still got a lot of catching up to do when it comes to all that stuff, for sure. But yeah, I guess that's going to be a bit interesting for the story here. But yeah, that's all I got to really say there. One thing I guess I kind of learned this week, yesterday really, to be honest, considering YouTube sent an email about membership stuff. Now to make your memberships grow and everything, and yeah, I ended up looking through that thing. And the only thing I really learned is the fact that apparently I can gift 10 memberships each month completely free of charge. Which brings me to the question of whether or not I actually make money off those 10 memberships I can give out each month. Or does YouTube just keep all that money, considering they're the one letting me do that? Honestly not sure. Kinda wanna test it out. But, whatever. Still haven't gotten a single membership yet in the several months that I've had it now. But, whatever. But, yeah, kinda started playing Minecraft a bit again, in which I finally started a new world for the first time since all the cave and cliffs updates and everything happened. So, yeah, ended up doing a large biome world. Found a decent seed, I guess, that I kind of like the looks of and everything. And spent a few hours just going to where I wanted to set up my base. Yeah, that was a bit of a pain, especially considering I ended up running into some pillagers not far along into that little journey I was doing. So I couldn't really go to any villages I was going by, unless I wanted to set off a raid. Considering I couldn't really exactly avoid those pillagers when I came across them. But yeah, doing pretty well on there, I think, so far. But yeah, don't really have all that much to say for it. I guess that's basically all I really have for this week. I could say some stuff about how my channel's doing overall currently this month, but I guess I'll leave that to next week and everything, considering it's the final full week for the month and all that. Or I could leave it for, push that back another week as well and do its first video for January or whatever. But whatever. That there is the end of this video here. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.